What if I told you that the biggest career mistake you can make isn't being lazy or incompetent or even getting fired? What if the biggest mistake is being too loyal? 5 years. That's how long I sacrificed my life, my sanity, and my bank account for a boss who saw me as nothing more than a disposable asset. But here's the plot twist nobody saw coming, including her. When she finally crossed the line and tried to destroy me, I didn't just survive. I completely annihilated her career. And I'm about to tell you exactly how I did it. Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. If this is your first time here, I share real stories about toxic workplaces, career comebacks, and what happens when you finally stand up to the bullies in corner offices. And today I'm sharing the most requested story from my community, the complete, unfiltered truth about how my psychopathic manager tried to ruin my life and how it spectacularly backfired. But before we dive into this roller coaster, I need you to do two things. First, if you've ever felt trapped in a job where your boss takes credit for your wins but throws you under the bus for their failures, smash that like button right now. Let me know I'm not alone in this. Second, hit subscribe and ring that notification bell because stories like this, they're exactly why this channel exists. We're building a community of people who refuse to accept workplace abuse, and I want you to be part of it. Now, let me paint you a picture. It's 2018, Seattle is booming, and I'm 28 years old with stars in my eyes and a marketing degree that I'm convinced is going to change the world. Spoiler alert, the world had other plans. Picture this. I'm sitting in the lobby of Stonebridge and Company, a mid-size marketing firm with floor-to-ceiling windows overlooking Elliott Bay. My hands are slightly sweaty, my resume is crisp in my leather portfolio, and I'm about to meet Robert Stone, the legendary founder who built this company from a one-man consulting gig into a multi-million-dollar operation. Now, I've been on plenty of interviews before, but this one was different. Robert doesn't just ask me about my experience or where I see myself in 5 years. For 2 solid hours, we dive deep into brand psychology, market dynamics, consumer behavior trends. We debate the ethics of emotional marketing. We discuss the future of digital advertising. It's not an interview, it's an intellectual boxing match, and I'm holding my own. Finally, Robert leans back in his chair and says something I'll never forget. "Laura, you've got instincts. I can teach anyone skills, train them on processes, show them the tools. But instinct? That's rare. That's what separates good marketers from great ones." I walked out of that office feeling like I could conquer the world. Salary negotiations were smooth. They offered me $65,000, which was solid for a marketing coordinator position in Seattle at the time. I had my own desk, healthcare benefits, and most importantly, I had a mentor in Robert Stone who clearly saw my potential. For exactly 6 months, it was everything I'd dreamed of. I was learning, growing, contributing to campaigns that mattered. The team was collaborative, the work was challenging, and I genuinely looked forward to Monday mornings. And then everything changed. October 15th, 2018. I remember the date because it's when my career almost died. That's the day Robert Stone announced he was selling Stonebridge and Company to Meridian Capital, a private equity firm known for optimizing operational efficiency, corporate speak for squeezing every penny out of a business until there's nothing left but profit margins. The new management team arrives like a corporate invasion force. Expensive suits, buzzword-heavy presentations, and leading the charge is Megan Turner, my new direct manager and, as I would soon discover, a masterclass in everything wrong with modern leadership. Day 1 under the new regime, Megan gathers the entire staff in the main conference room. I'm expecting the usual "we're excited to be here" speech. Instead, she pulls up a PowerPoint presentation titled Human Capital Optimization Strategy. Human capital. Not employees, not team members, not people, capital. She clicks through slides filled with phrases like streamlining talent acquisition, performance-based retention metrics, and eliminating redundancies in human resources. I'm looking around the room at my colleagues, people I've worked with, laughed with, celebrated successes with, and she's talking about us like we're inventory to be managed. Red flag number 1. When your boss talks about employees like they're line items on a balance sheet, start updating your resume. But did I listen to that little voice in my head? Of course not. I gave her the benefit of the doubt. Maybe she was just nervous. Maybe this was how private equity people talked. Maybe underneath all the corporate jargon, she actually cared about building a great team. Spoiler alert, she didn't. What happened next wasn't a dramatic explosion. It was a slow, methodical destruction of everything that made Stonebridge a place where people wanted to work. And I had a front row seat to the entire show. Within the first month, Megan implemented her efficiency improvements. Team lunches, eliminated non-productive time allocation. The mentorship program Robert had established, discontinued, unclear. ROI on developmental investments. The collaborative workspace Robert had designed, replaced with a cubicle farm that looked like something out of Office Space. But here's the insidious part: she didn't just change the environment, she changed the culture. Suddenly, information was hoarded instead of shared. Credit was stolen instead of given. Colleagues became competitors instead of collaborators. And through it all, I kept my head down and worked harder. Year 1, I tell myself this is temporary. New management always makes changes. Things will stabilize. Year 2, I'm handling 3 client accounts that used to require 2 full-time people. I'm staying until PM most nights. I'm answering emails on weekends. But I'm also delivering results: 1.2 million in new business. Client satisfaction scores in the 95th percentile. 0 missed deadlines. Performance review time comes around, and I'm expecting recognition, maybe even a promotion. Instead, Megan slides a form across her desk with my same job title and a 2.5% salary increase, barely enough to cover inflation. "Laura, you're doing solid work," she says without looking up from her computer. "Keep it up, and we'll revisit your trajectory. Next quarter." Next quarter. Remember that phrase, it's going to come back to haunt her. Year 3 brings more responsibility and the same empty promises. I'm now training junior associates who are getting promoted over me. I'm leading client presentations for accounts that generate millions in revenue. I'm basically functioning as a senior account manager while being paid like an entry-level coordinator. But here's what really gets me: Megan starts taking credit for my work in leadership meetings. Client wins that I secured single-handedly become team efforts under her guidance. Strategic insights I develop become Megan's innovative approach to market positioning. I start documenting everything. Not because I'm planning anything, I'm just trying to keep track of my actual contributions for the next performance review. Year 4, and I'm running on fumes. The collaborative, innovative workplace I joined has become a pressure cooker of toxic competition and impossible expectations. I've watched 5 talented colleagues leave in the past 6 months. Each time someone quits, their workload gets distributed among the remaining team members. I'm now handling 6 major accounts, supervising 3 junior staff members, and managing the department's largest client relationships. My client feedback scores are still the highest in the company. I've brought in over $2.4 million in new business. My salary? Still $65,000. The same amount I started with, but I keep telling myself the same lie. Loyalty pays off. Hard work gets noticed. Good things come to those who wait. Spoiler alert, I was wrong about all 3. March 12, 2023. Rainy Thursday morning, typical Seattle weather. I'm sitting across from Megan in her glass-walled office, looking out at the skyline she never stops reminding us she earned through strategic career positioning. I've prepared for this conversation for weeks. I've compiled 5 years of performance data, client testimonials, revenue generation reports. I've researched market salary ranges for my role and experience level. I've practiced my talking points until I could deliver them in my sleep. "Megan, I'd like to discuss my career progression and compensation." I begin, keeping my voice steady and professional. She doesn't look up from whatever client report she's pretending to read. "Laura, we value your contributions, but the company's priorities have shifted. Right now, salary adjustments aren't on the table." The same empty words, the same dismissive tone, the same dead smile when she finally glances up at me. But this time, something's different. Maybe it's 5 years of accumulated frustration. Maybe it's watching less qualified people get promoted around me. Maybe it's just pure exhaustion from pretending this situation is normal. Could we set a specific timeline to revisit this? I ask, my voice a little sharper than intended. I've been here 5 years. My performance has been consistently excellent, and my responsibilities have tripled since I started. Now she looks at me, really looks at me, and her eyes are cold, calculating, predatory. "Laura, you need to think bigger. We're all making sacrifices. That's how teams win. Teams win." As if she's ever been part of a team in her life. I nod, smile, that fake corporate smile we've all perfected. and walk out of her office with my heart pounding in my ears. Past the reception desk where Tina is fielding back-to-back calls from stressed clients. Past the open floor plan where junior staffers are glued to their monitors, probably working on projects that will make Megan look good in next week's leadership meeting. I sit in my car for 15 minutes before I can start the engine. And that's when it hits me. I'm not angry. I'm not sad. I'm just done. For the first time in 5 years, I'm finally done pretending that loyalty matters to people who see it as weakness. That night, I do something I haven't done in 5 years. I open my laptop and pull up job listings, not to fantasize, not to daydream, but to actually see what's out there. What I find blows my mind and breaks my heart at the same time. Market strategist positions at $110,000. Senior account manager roles at $125,000 plus performance bonuses. Director level positions at $140,000 with equity participation, professional development budgets, and actual work-life balance. I've been so buried in my own situation that I completely missed how much the market had moved without me. While I was grinding away for the same $65,000 I started with, my peers were advancing, earning promotions, building careers that actually progressed. I bookmark about a dozen positions and close my laptop, telling myself it's just curiosity. But deep down, I know something fundamental has shifted. The spell is broken. The illusion of loyalty paying off has finally cracked. 3 days later, Monday morning, Megan drops a manila folder on my desk without a word. No explanation, no context, just a passive-aggressive thud and a sticky note that reads, "Make sure they understand our value." I open the folder. It's the Glenmore Tech account renewal, a $3 million deal that requires months of strategic planning, competitive analysis, and client relationship management. On top of the 6 accounts I'm already managing. On top of the 3 junior associates I'm training. On top of the department-wide initiatives I'm somehow supposed to coordinate. Our value. I stare at those words for a long moment, and something inside me just snaps. I'm not worth a cost of living raise, but I'm worth single-handedly managing deals that could fund her salary for the next 3 years. That's when I finally understand what my dad meant when he used to say, "You teach people how to treat you by what you're willing to accept." For 5 years, I'd been teaching Megan Turner that I would accept anything, any workload, any level of disrespect, any broken promise, as long as she dangled the possibility of future advancement in front of me like a carrot. Well, lesson time is over. I don't storm out. I don't send angry emails. I don't make a scene. Instead, I do something far more powerful. I take back control of my own career. That evening, I click apply on exactly one job posting. Senior Account Director at Vantage Strategies, one of the fastest growing marketing firms in the Pacific Northwest. They're known for 3 things: innovation, competitive compensation, and actually promoting talented people instead of grinding them into dust. The application asks for a cover letter, so I write one. Not the generic template garbage most people submit, but a real letter explaining exactly what I've accomplished at Stonebridge and what I could bring to their team. I attach my portfolio of client case studies, revenue reports, and testimonials. I hit submit at 11:47 p.m. and go to bed feeling something I haven't felt in months: hope. 3 days later, my phone buzzes with an email notification. Subject line, interview invitation, Vantage Strategies. I stare at it for 30 seconds before opening it, half convinced it's a spam email or some kind of mistake. Dear Laura, thank you for your application for the Senior Account Director position. We were impressed by your background and portfolio and would like to invite you for an interview this Thursday at a.m. Impressed by my background. After reviewing my actual work, when was the last time someone at Stonebridge said they were impressed by anything I did? Thursday arrives, and I tell Megan I have a family commitment. Technically true, since sometimes you have to be family to yourself. The Vantage office is everything Stonebridge isn't. Natural light floods through massive windows. There are actual plants, real ones, not the dusty fake decorations Megan insisted were more cost-effective. People are talking, laughing, collaborating. The energy is electric, creative, alive. Hannah Price, the director of client services, meets me in the lobby personally. Firm handshake, genuine smile, eye contact that actually feels like she's seeing me as a person, not a productivity unit. We sit down in a conference room with floor-to-ceiling windows overlooking the sound, and she opens a folder with my portfolio printed and organized. Laura, We've been following your work with Glenmore Tech and the Anderson Group. Your retention numbers and client satisfaction scores speak for themselves. But what really caught our attention was the strategic positioning work you did for the Hartwell campaign. That was brilliant. I blink. She knows my work. Specific campaigns, specific results, specific strategies. Not just bullet points from my resume, but actual understanding of what I've accomplished. For the first time in 5 years, someone is seeing me. We spend the next 2 hours talking strategy, discussing client relationship philosophy, exploring what long-term career growth actually looks like. She asks about my goals, my vision for the industry, my thoughts on emerging trends in digital marketing. Finally, Hannah leans back in her chair and says, "Laura, I think you'd be a phenomenal fit here. The role comes with a base salary of $95,000, plus performance bonuses that typically add another 20 to 30% annually, full benefits, equity participation, and a $5,000 professional development budget." I'm pretty sure my heart stops beating for a second. "You're serious?" She smiles, dead serious. "We take care of our people here, Laura. When you invest in talent, talent invests in you. If you're interested, we can move quickly on this." I walk out of that interview feeling lighter than I have in years. By the time I get home, the official offer letter is sitting in my inbox. Everything Hannah promised, in writing, with actual numbers and real benefits. I print it, sign it, scan it back, and hit send before I can second guess myself. Friday morning, I walk into Stonebridge with a calm I haven't felt in years. I'm not planning to quit dramatically or burn any bridges. I'm going to give professional 2 weeks notice, finish my current projects, and transition out with dignity. But Megan Turner has other plans. At 9:30 a.m. sharp, she calls me into her office. I step inside expecting another micromanagement session. But her expression is different, sharper, more predatory. "Close the door," she says. I do. She slides her phone across the desk, an email open on the screen. My LinkedIn profile is displayed, with a comment from a Vantage Strategies recruiter on one of my posts, something harmless like, "Great insights, Laura. Looking forward to working together." Megan's eyes lock onto mine like a sniper acquiring a target. "Care to explain this?" Her voice is ice cold, accusatory, like she's caught me stealing company secrets or embezzling funds. I keep my voice steady. "I applied for a position at Vantage Strategies using my personal time and resources. So it's true." Her lips curl into something between a smirk and a sneer. "You've been job hunting behind my back." Behind her back. As if I'd signed some kind of indentured servitude contract when I started working here. "Megan, I don't tolerate disloyalty, Laura. You've made your choice." She opens a drawer and pulls out a termination form that looks like it's been sitting there waiting for this exact moment. "Your badge access is deactivated as of now. Pack your things and leave." I stare at her for a moment, and suddenly everything becomes crystal clear. She's not firing me because I'm disloyal. She's firing me because she's terrified I might actually leave on my own terms. "You're firing me for applying to other positions? I'm terminating your employment for breach of trust. Disloyal employees deserve nothing." The words hit me, but not the way she expects. I'm not scared. I'm not angry. I'm just relieved. I stand up, smooth my blazer, and give her the calmest smile I've ever given anyone. "Then I wish you the best of luck, Megan." Her eyes narrow, probably expecting an argument or an emotional breakdown. Instead, I turn, walk out of her office, and out of her control forever. I pack my personal belongings, 5 years of accumulated desk decorations, awards, and photos into a single cardboard box. As I'm cleaning out my drawers, Tina from reception appears at my cubicle. "Laura, what's happening? Are you leaving?" "Megan just fired me for applying to other jobs." Tina's eyes go wide. "She what? That's not even legal, is it?" I shrug. "Probably not, but it doesn't matter. I got a better offer anyway." And that's when it hits me I'm free. For the first time in 5 years, I don't have to worry about Megan's approval, her impossible demands, her credit stealing, her mind games. I'm finally, completely free. Monday morning, I'm supposed to start at Vantage Strategies in 2 weeks. But Hannah calls me personally. "Laura, given the circumstances of your departure from Stonebridge, we'd love to have you start immediately if you're available. No pressure, but the opportunity is there. I start Tuesday." Walking into Vantage feels like stepping into a different universe. People greet me by name. Hannah introduces me to the team as the brilliant strategist we poached from Stonebridge. There's an onboarding plan, a mentorship program, clear expectations. And here's the crazy part, actual support for achieving them. Wednesday afternoon, I get a text from an unfamiliar number. Hi Laura, this is Nathan Kim from Glenmore Tech. I heard about your departure from Stonebridge. Are you available to discuss a potential consulting partnership? I stare at the message for a long moment before responding. Absolutely. When works for you? We meet Friday morning in a downtown conference room. Nathan doesn't waste time on small talk. I'll be direct, Laura. Since your departure, the service level at Stonebridge has dropped significantly. Deadlines missed, communication delays, strategic gaps in their proposals. It's been frustrating. He leans forward. I'm also aware of how much you personally handled for our account and how much value you brought to the relationship. We're interested in moving our business if you're willing to lead the account through Vantage. $3 million. Walking right out of Stonebridge's door and into my new company's hands, I'd be honored to discuss a partnership through Vantage Strategies. I tell him. By the following Wednesday, the deal is signed. Glenmore Tech officially moves their $3 million account to Vantage Strategies, with me as the lead strategist. But that's just the beginning. Word travels fast in Seattle's business community, and apparently, my departure created more waves than I realized. I start getting messages from former colleagues, clients, people I barely knew. Did you really land Glenmore at Vantage? Megan's been in emergency meetings all week. 2 more clients are asking about following you. HR is scrambling to do damage control. I don't respond to the gossip. I focus on my work, my new team, my fresh start. But I'd be lying if I said I wasn't curious about what was happening at my old company. Then I get a message that changes everything. It's from Tina, Stonebridge's receptionist. Laura, I thought you should know Megan sent a company-wide email this morning blaming you for the client losses. She's claiming you violated confidentiality agreements and poached clients. She's trying to make you look bad. I read the message 3 times, feeling my chest tighten with each pass. So Megan hadn't just fired me. She was actively trying to destroy my professional reputation on the way out. I forward Tina's message to Hannah with a simple note. Thought you should be aware of this. Hannah responds within 5 minutes. Let's talk first thing Monday morning. And Laura, document everything. Monday morning, I walk into Hannah's office with printed copies of every email, every performance review, every client testimonial from my time at Stonebridge. Hannah reviews everything with Vantage's legal counsel on speakerphone. This is textbook defamation, the lawyer explains. Written accusations distributed to harm someone's professional reputation. It's not just unethical, it's legally actionable. Hannah's expression is cool, professional, but her eyes flash with something sharper. Megan Turner crossed a line. We're going to handle this properly. That afternoon, Vantage's legal team sends a formal cease and desist letter to Stonebridge and Company. Professional, direct, unmistakable. The letter demands immediate retraction of the defamatory statements and warns of legal action for slander and tortious interference with business relationships. But we don't stop there. Hannah makes a call I never expected. I'm contacting the Pacific Northwest Consulting Association. If Megan wants to play dirty, she should understand the professional consequences. The Pacific Northwest Consulting Association takes professional ethics seriously. Within a week, they open a formal investigation into Megan's conduct. They interview former Stonebridge employees, review documented incidents, examine the pattern of behavior that led to multiple departures. What they find isn't pretty. Over 18 months, Megan had made false accusations against departing employees, taken credit for subordinates' work in client presentations, created hostile work environments leading to excessive turnover, and violated multiple ethical standards for professional conduct. Meanwhile, business continues at Vantage, and it's everything I dreamed work could be. 3 more Stonebridge clients reach out about transitioning their accounts. Hannah promotes me to senior director within 6 months. My salary increases by 35%. I get equity in the company. And here's the kicker, I actually enjoy going to work. 2 months later, the PCA investigation concludes. Megan Turner is officially censured and removed from their professional registry. In simple terms, she's blacklisted. No major consulting firm in the Pacific Northwest will touch her after that. But the story doesn't end there. Robert Stone, remember him? The founder who originally hired me calls me personally. Laura, I want you to know how deeply sorry I am for what happened to you at Stonebridge. This isn't the company I built or the culture I wanted to create." His voice is heavy with regret. "I'm stepping back in temporarily to help the board address certain leadership issues. I hope it's not too late to repair some of the damage that's been done." A week later, the business journals publish the announcement. Stonebridge and Company announces leadership restructuring. Megan Turner departs effective immediately. No flowery language. No pursuing new opportunities. Just a quiet corporate execution. I think that's the end of it. Megan is gone. I'm thriving at Vantage, and justice has been served. But sociopaths don't go quietly into the night. I get one last message from Megan herself. "Congratulations. You got what you wanted." I stare at it for a long time before typing my response. What I wanted was to work in a place where respect goes both ways. What you wanted was control. We both got what we earned. I hit send and immediately block her number. That was the last time I ever heard from Megan Turner. Fast forward 1 year. I'm now Director of Strategic Partnerships at Vantage, leading a team of 12 brilliant strategists. My client portfolio includes some of the most innovative companies in the Pacific Northwest. Glenmore Tech increased their contract by 40% and became one of our flagship success stories. But the real victory isn't the title or the salary or even the revenge. The real victory is remembering what it feels like to be valued, respected, and challenged in all the right ways. Hannah and I are having drinks with the leadership team one evening, celebrating another record quarter, when she raises her glass to Laura, who reminded us all that talent recognizes talent, and loyalty is earned, not demanded. I raise my glass back to learning that loyalty isn't something you owe, it's something you choose when it's deserved. Here's what I want you to understand. This isn't just a revenge story. This is a story about recognizing your worth and refusing to accept less than you deserve. For 5 years, I told myself that loyalty was a virtue, that hard work automatically led to recognition, that good things come to those who wait. I was wrong about all of it. Loyalty is only meaningful when it's mutual. Hard work only matters when it's valued and rewarded. And good things don't come to those who wait, they come to those who act. Megan Turner taught me the most valuable lesson of my career, though she never meant to. Your boss doesn't own you because you show up every day. Your company doesn't deserve your best work just because they pay you. And staying somewhere that undervalues you isn't loyalty, it's self-sabotage. If you're watching this video and any part of this story sounds familiar, if you're stuck in a job that drains your soul, if you have a boss who takes credit for your wins but blames you for their failures, if you've been waiting for next quarter for way too long, I want you to do something right now. Don't wait for permission. Don't wait for the perfect moment. Don't wait for your boss to suddenly develop human decency. Open up those job listings. Update that resume. Start remembering what you're actually worth in today's market. Because here's the truth nobody tells you. The world has moved on. Your skills are worth more than you think. And somewhere out there is a company that will see your value on day 1, not year 6. Some stories end with dramatic confrontations. Others end with revenge. Mine ended with something better. Freedom. The freedom to work with people who respect me. The freedom to build a career that actually progresses. The freedom to wake up Monday morning and genuinely look forward to the day ahead. And honestly, that's the most satisfying ending of all. Because when you finally stop accepting less than you deserve, the whole world opens up. And the people who tried to keep you small, they become footnotes in your success story. What about you? Have you ever had a boss like Megan? A job that demanded your loyalty but gave you nothing in return? A moment when you finally said enough? Drop your story in the comments below. Let's build a community of people who refuse to accept workplace abuse. Share your victories, your struggles, your moments of clarity. And if this video helped you see your situation more clearly, smash that like button and subscribe for more real talk career advice. Hit the notification bell so you never miss a story that might change your perspective on what you're willing to accept. Remember, you don't have to settle for less than you deserve. Sometimes the best thing you can do for your career is walk away from people who don't value it. Until next time, know your worth, demand what you're worth, and never let anyone convince you otherwise. Your career is not a charity case. Your talent is not a favor you're doing for your boss. And your loyalty is not something you owe to people who see it as weakness. You are worth more than you think. Act like it.